Hey everyone, my name is Sean, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and reactions to the Yu-Gi-Oh! October 2021 OCG ban list and changes. You may be wondering, Sean, why do you care about the OCG ban list at all? Well, the reason why I care about it is because if you like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games, like Link Evolution and perhaps even in Master Duel, they often use what is called a world's ban list because it's a game that is played all around the world rather than in a particular region of the world. So it is a combination of the OCG ban list and also the TCG ban list, and I strongly feel that Konami is going to be still using a world's ban list as they've been using it for as long as I remember in their video games. So if you're looking forward to Master Duel, I would be paying attention to the OCG format very closely. I'm going to go through this in reverse order, start with the unlimited cards, and the first card we're going to talk about is Pendulum Cool. Pendulum Cool is going from being limited to 1 to 3. It is currently at 3 in the TCG, and I think this is nice for fans of Pendulum decks like myself. Pendulum decks have been so highly nerfed by the Link format, but what's even worse in Master Rule 5 is that while XE, Synchros, and Fusion based strategies are now back to full power because they can summon directly to the main monster zone, Pendulums didn't get that love and treatment, so Pendulum decks are in such a bad place right now. Pendulum Cool being at 3, I don't think will have a massive impact. It's at 3 in the TCG, and Pendulum decks are very unviable still, and so it being at 3 in the OCG is nice, so that if you are a fan of that old Pendulum mechanic and you want to give Pendulum Magician a try, then you can go ahead and play it with your best starter card being unlimited, but I don't think it's going to have an impact at all on the game. What I do think will have an impact though is Mind Control. Mind Control being at 3 now. It was semi-limited in the TCG, the OCG. It is at 1 in the TCG, and for very good reason. Mind Control is a very powerful going second card. Just the ability to take your opponent's monster and then use it for a Link summon or an XE summon, depending whatever your situation is a really powerful thing to do. What's so great about Mind Control is that it is a card where you break even, where you lose one card by playing Mind Control, but then you gain a monster, but your opponent goes -1 because you've taken one of their resources. It's really good in that respect, for evening out that kind of card advantage if they built up their board already. I think this is good for side decking particularly, and I think if I were in the OCG I will be immediately buying multiple copies of this because I think this card is very powerful. I would love to see this come back at 3 in the TCG. I don't think it will be too much of a game changer, but I think it's still a pretty good card to have. Now, speaking of going to 3, that's really good. I love that Salamangreat Circle is unlimited in the OCG. I really hope the TCG follows suit with this, and I've got so much to say about this. When Salamangreat came out in February in 2019 in their Soulburner structure deck, they were immediately a top tier deck. I loved this because it meant that people who were newer to the game, and if you were a tournament organizer like myself and you're trying to teach people how to play the game, they could immediately just go and buy a structure deck that was already competitive and play the game. And unfortunately, very quickly after that, the card got limited to 1 because immediately Salamangreats hit the format and were so dominant. Seeing this card now back at 3 is really nice because a lot of the decks that were relevant from the Master Rule format, like Striker, True Draco, Orcust, Thunder Dragon, and Salamangreats, have been power crept so much with modern decks that they really are either completely unplayable or just not as competitive as they used to be. So having this card back at 3 is nice for fans of Salamangreat players and people that were fan of Master Rule 4. I think it's a really great add. I don't think it will make the deck tier 1 again because the power gap between some current decks are really vast, but having it at 3 is really nice. Salamangreat's also got Mirage Stadio back recently, so we're starting to slowly see the deck be back to full power. Really good change. I love that, Konami. The last card that was unlimited is Danger Nessie. I believe this was at 2 in the OCG. It's currently at 1 in the TCG, and I think it's fine and fair for Danger Nessie to go to 3 in my opinion. The Danger package was really popular throughout 2019 and 2018, particularly through the Thunder Dragon deck, but also in combo based decks. And nowadays, a lot of decks just don't really play Dangers at all anymore because of their limited status, but also they're not as good as they once were. They don't have as much synergy with current combo decks. So having this at 3, I think is a really safe bet. I think it will be a power boost to certain strategies. I think you'll start seeing people play things like Grand Marju a bit more, things like Dark World a bit more, even though I don't think that would be competitively viable. I think it would be nice for that. Maybe you'll see Crusadia OTK come back. I think it's good. I think it will breathe some life into the game because this is the danger package searcher. So having this at 3 is really, really nice. I don't think that's a bad change whatsoever. On to the semi-limited card, and the first one is definitely interesting to talk about is Crosstalk Designator. So the OCG, and the reason why I'm not on the Yu-Gi-Oh card database for this one, is because the OCG have had this card for a little while now, and it has definitely been a very, very popular card. It is a great anti-side decking tool where you want to counter your opponent's responses. It's amazing in the mirror match where, let's say you don't know what it is, let me read it out to you. You declare one card name, banish one card with that name from your deck, and for the rest of the turn, that card's effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects of cards on the field with the same original name. You can only activate one Crosstalk Designator per turn. This is a very, very good anti-tech card where if your opponent, you know your opponent's going to want to use a particular card against you, let's say something like Dark Ruler No More, then you can just hinder them and stop them from doing that by banishing your own copy of Dark Ruler No More. The fact that this is a quick play spell as well makes it very, very easy to use because you can respond to your opponent's activations, and if your opponent activates a card that's the same as yours, you could just banish your own copy and negate it from their deck. It has been very, very popular in the OCG, and it's very important to pay attention to this in the TCG because there have been leaks that have said that this card will be in the 2021 tins, which come out next month. I think that's pretty much a done deal considering the sources of the leaks. And I think this will be one of either the prismatic secret rares or one of the ultra rares in the deck, so it will be highly chased after. So having this card at 2 in the OCG is very impactful. I think we'll see this at 3 on our side for a little while before Konami decides to limit it. But Crosstalk Designator, yeah, that's going to be... I don't think it's a big change to put this to 2. I think it just means that you have to have other cards to spice to mix up your strategies or your counters strategies a little bit more. But having this at 2 I think is fine. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Also at 2 is now Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires has been out for a while, a couple of years now, and to see it to go to 2 is interesting. I think Desires is good no matter how many copies of Desires are in the game. I think you can play Desires at 1 and it will still be good. It's like, if you draw Desires and you play it, fine, whatever. If you don't, you still live. It's not like so integral to a strategy where you have to draw 3 of it. So having this at 2 I think is fine. It's a bit of a win more card where you play it in situations just to kind of extend your play, and you either really hope that you take control of the board so that drawing that 2 cards at the cost of banishing 10 doesn't matter, or you're playing some kind of combo deck and you're just going to win anyway because now you've got two extra cards to use for your strategy. It going to 2, like I said, I don't think it makes a difference whatsoever. I think the most noteworthy deck that uses this right now is Tri-Brigade Zoo, and yeah, I think that deck won't cry for getting only 2 copies of this. So some people even only want to play 2. So I don't think it's a massive change in my opinion whatsoever. But I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments down below what you think. Going to 2 also is Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. For those that don't know, Darkness Metal Dragon was banned for a long time, and then it was unbanned because it received an errata, which basically added the once per turn effect into its text. So you couldn't abuse this card by summoning it, linking it away, then bringing it back and abusing its effect again and again and again. So I think Konami feels very safe about unbanning this card, and now they feel even safer about bringing it to 2. I think this is a massive boost to get decks like Dragon Link. Dragon Link isn't really popular in the OCG, so I can see why they would bring it to 2. But if you did this in the TCG, I think you have some people very upset by that, because this just is it would make the Baby Metal Red Eyes Darkness Metal engine a lot more consistent and easier to access. So yeah, I think I definitely don't want to see that go to 2 in the TCG. I don't think it'll be massively game changing, but I mean, it's such a good card that even if you hard draw it, you can still use it, and then you don't have to use Baby Metal and just use Starly Safer instead. It's it's just such a powerful card, even with the once per turn effect. So that going to 2, I think some people would love to have that. I don't think we need it. Going to is this going to 2? Or yeah, it's going to 2 in the OCG. It's at 3 in the TCG. It's Soul Eating Overraptor. I think this is good. Playing dinosaurs on the world format sucks right now because you only get one Soul Eating Overraptor. The deck is still playable, but this is their best starter. Normal summon and add a dino from your deck to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Having this at 1 in Link Evolution really bites. I don't know why they decided to do this in the first place. Dinosaurs were never a really crazy broken strategy in the OCG. I think maybe you could use Overraptor with certain like FTK style strategies and it will still be viable. I know like early Dragon Link used to use Soul Eating Overraptor, but having it at 1, I don't really think that was a good thing to do in the first place. So the fact that they're putting it at 2 is nice. Hopefully when Master Duel comes out, it will still be at least at 2, so we can play dinosaurs even better than they are. And yeah, welcome back Overraptor. It's definitely nice to have you at 2. I would love to have you at 3 though. Please bring it to 3. Keep it at 3. Going on to the limited cards now, the cards that have been put to 1. This breaks my heart. Ciphering Gear Gamma. Oh my god. So, the OCG's approach to hand traps is very different to the TCG's, and I definitely prefer the TCG's, I'll give you that. The OCG likes to promote variety, and I get that. They don't want people always leaning on the same cards again and again and again. It's why a card like Ash Blossom is semi-limited in the OCG, whereas in the TCG we don't care, we have that card at 3, because it's a necessary evil. When combo decks run wild, and you are like, man, if I don't draw Ash, if I don't draw Nibiru, if I don't draw Gamma, I instantly lose. It sucks, man. It really does. So, Gamma going to 1, I hate that. I actually hate that. I really do. When you're playing against a deck like Dragon Link, you pray that you draw Gamma. You really do. You want Gamma in your hand. And along with even Gamma alone, one Gamma is going to do nothing against Dragon Link. You need Gamma and like Nibiru or Gamma and Vader or something like that, or Imperm, or really Gamma is the best option. Yeah, for this to go to 1, like I said, in Master Duel, if we use a Worlds format, that's going to bite in my opinion, because Dragon Link will just run wild. It will absolutely love the Master Duel format, but yeah, it's just the way the OCG approaches hand traps. They like to promote variety. It's why Crosstalk Designator has gone to 2, and yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that personally. Gamma should always be at 3, and it's only good for one reason, and that is when you have no monsters on the field and you want to negate an effect, and you want to destroy that card too. That's why you use Gamma. It's a bit of a wild card. It's a double-edged sword, because once you start having monsters on the field, you can't use this card anymore unless you have Lambda on the field. Yeah, but it's kind of a necessary evil. So yeah, I'm not happy with that one. I don't like that at all. One thing I do like is Zeus. Zeus going to 1, yeah, good, thank you. I like Zeus. Zeus is a great card. When I stopped playing the TCG, I had 3 copies of Zeus. I've sold them, and I'm glad I've sold them now, because I can see this card going to 1 in the TCG as well, because it's definitely one of the best cards to use in decks like Tri-Brigade Zoo. Yeah, for those who maybe are from Link Evolution and you don't know what this card does, how this card works is once per turn, if an Xyz monster has battled, you can summon Zeus by using that monster, any Xyz monster you control as the material. So imagine like Utopia the Lightning, but can work on any card. You just overlay and go into the best Xyz monster in the game. And why is it the best Xyz monster in the game? It's because it has a quick effect. You detach 2 materials from this card and send all other cards on the field to the graveyard. This card is stupid. It's so strong. It's why Zodiac is such a strong deck at the moment, because Zodiac are 1 card XE engines. You just normal summon a Zoo, go into your Zodiac player, and then when you're done and you've attacked, you overlay Zeus onto it, and then during your opponent's turn, send every card on the field to the graveyard. It's such a strong card. This will hurt strategies that rely on multiple copies of Zeus and their ability to grind for a little bit. I still think it will be wildly played, and I don't think it will completely stop decks like Tri-Brigade, because if they get to Revolt, just flip over Revolt, GG, they win. But having it at 1, I think is a really good change. I hope this comes to the TCG too. Oh, something else I wanted to mention as well. Zeus has been told it's going to be in the Megatins. So if you own copies of Zeus and you want to get rid of them, you're probably too late now, but I would be selling them in my opinion, unless you really just want to hold on to the ultra rare high rarity versions of this card, because the price of it is going to drop significantly, and I think I can see this card going to 1 in the next OCG ban list easily. Ban cards, there are 2 ban cards, and we have Mystic Mine. Finally, Mystic Mine has been banned. People have wanted this card to be banned for years now. I think everybody, I was never on the bandwagon train of banning Mystic Mine. I think it's just a card you have to be prepared for. A lot of people, when this card came out, weren't prepared to having a easy to activate floodgate style spell, and so they were always concentrated on monsters. So they were they had monster removal options, but not necessarily spell and trap removal options. This forced people to think about their side decking options a little bit more, so you had to play cards like Twin or Twister or Cosmic Cyclone in order to be prepared for a card like this if you thought your opponent was going to use it. I like Mystic Mine. Any deck that I have with a field spell engine in it, I throw Mystic Mine in, because you go second, your opponent has a board on, you just go Terraforming, Mystic Mine, activate, cool. And then you can take your time, break their board, and yeah, it kind of evens out the balance a little bit. So but Mystic Mine has been very impressive. I think a lot of people like to use this card with Zeus, because often with Zodiac you end on just having 1 monster on the field. So if your opponent is playing a deck that relies on having multiple monsters on the field, and you put Mystic Mine down, they're going to be like, crap, crap, Mystic Mine, So yeah, it being banned, I'm not too surprised by it. I think a lot of people will be happy with it. I don't think anyone's going to cry about this being gone, but yeah, Mystic Mine's gone now. Say sayonara. Last card on the list, and honestly, this should have been banned ages ago, is True King of All Calamities. It's banned in the TCG for a reason. Virtual World abused this card way too much. This card is just stupid. It's supposed to be really hard to use, being a rank 9 Synchro Xyz monster, but once you find a deck that just has flooded the field with rank 9 monsters, yeah, it's really powerful now, and there's nothing worse than someone summoning True Calamities on you. You go to your turn, and they go main phase, activate effect, win monsters or whatever, all negated, and then you basically just can't play that turn. Yeah, it hurts a lot of strategies. Virtual World's picked up a bit in the OCG, so they've probably been getting hit by True King of Calamities. We were ahead of the game on that in the TCG, and we've been using it for a while, and yeah, good. Bye bye True King of Calamities, you will not be missed. So guys, that is my thoughts on the OCG ban list. What were your thoughts? Thank you to the YGO organization for translating the V-Jump video where this was all revealed into. And what are your thoughts on the ban list? Did you agree with these changes? Did you agree with my thoughts? Whatever your opinions were, let me know down in the comments down below. And thank you for watching this video as always. I'll see you soon. Take care.